Many apologies, people. I felt like that was going to happen because earlier today OBS was like, hey, do you want to do an update? And I was like, boy, do I ever, because those always go great. So I made sure everything was up to date, updated everything, restarted the computer, restarted OBS a couple of times to make sure it was stable, and there we go. But at least it killed it just after the green room, which means we get to do this again. So buckle up for the same thing you might have just heard.
Dog. Cat. Mouse. Turtle.
I can't see me loving nobody but you for all my life.
You're listening to FFOP Radio.
Reach the
Sorry, yeah.
Hey, everybody, welcome to the show.
God damn, dudes. Yo. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show.
His name's Dave.
Sorry about that. The first one did not work. This one worked, but I had to turn everything off to get it restarted. Forgot to turn it back on because, again, it's happening for the second time.
Too high for this, says Tony.
Yo,
Sorry.
my head is pounding. I'm not even into my drink hardly at all yet. We're already off the rails.
Yeah.
My money back. Okay, so yada yada yada. I'm Dave. It's Flamingo Friday. Blah 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 blah. Krista,
Hi.
etc. So,
R.I.P. Jim Rauch.
R.I.P. Jim Rauch. R.I. possible? I think maybe. I haven't gotten confirmation.
I'm pretty sure
Did he?
when it happened, we talked about it and I looked it up and confirmed it.
Okay, so yeah, there are so many characters it's hard to tell.
I forget why.
R.I.P. Jim Rauch. He was 1,000,000 years old.
I mean,
So anyway, if you're unfamiliar with James Rauch, back in 2006, Bowling Green, Kentucky, we are going to see familiar character Catherine Reed of the Kentucky Bureau
thank God.
Bureau of Investigation, along with Mike What's His Nuts. I don't remember his name. He'll say it at some point.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. They're not good at their job, and that's why we have 2 hours of like. The only reason they get anything out of Jim is because Jim is an open book and, saunters through the stories of his life and ends up incriminating himself because why not?
Yep.
Anyway, throw a little quick plug out to Baked Salmon. So the Lord and Savior of our show today, the Lord Rauch mug's available at Baked Salmon store. I want to show you guys that.
Oh, yeah.
But that being said, let's jump right into it. So yeah, he's here. Never made it to the house. Never talked to Chris. So there's no
Altercation.
there's no not altercation. But there's no interview with Chris. There's no like anything because he got lost and yada, yada, yada. If you know, you know.
And if you want to listen to the chat log one, we did one with Baked Salmon. It was awkward and wonderful because it was very weird having Baked Salmon say the things that Jim Rauch says to me as Sad Cheyenne. It was weird. It was weird, but it was fun.
You can check that out on our channel. It's back there somewhere. Yeah, we're growing, every day, man, little by little. Like a toddler. But yeah, let me get Jim pulled up nice and big here. So we're going to hear a lot about Jim. And I know a lot about Jim because not only have I watched this a million times, but everybody who's done commentary on this or a breakdown, I have gone over it.
Nice.
But I also think Jim is, aside from being like, he's not someone I want to be in constant contact with. Yeah, the scar too. I don't know. I one time knew what the scar was from. It has since passed from my mind. I don't know. Moral of the story is Jim is one of those people who I wouldn't mind interacting with, like if he was a teacher, like cause he's not a teacher. He works at like IT or something for University of Kentucky or whatever. We'll get into it, but like if he weren't such a weirdo, I wouldn't like. He comes across as the type of person that you wouldn't like at any social gathering, like a friend's barbecue or a birthday party. He's like a type of person you could strike up a conversation with, like end up changing Facebook names with and talking about like classic cars.
Cars,
like,
yeah.
You talk about El Caminos or whatever. He'll talk about music because he was a keyboard player. Yeah, he does web pages. He plays keyboards. He did. Had to take morphine once. We'll get into it.
I can picture all of that. Him playing keyboards and like talking about classic cars. Just like the jacket and like the whole, all of the things.
Yeah,
that
he's
he
a keyboard player. He used to play churches. Anyway, we'll get into it. Anyway, this is it. This is Jim Rauch, the day. So buckle up, people.
You just were out driving?
No, I don't want to admit that.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you come out to see somebody today?
Somebody invited me to come over.
Okay. Well, who was that?
So just sort of wallow in this for a minute, because all the artifice and the pretense and all this like all the bluster, it drains out of Jim in like no time. It's like when what was it, Garfield, or was it Bart, the balloon in the Macy's Day Parade that hit the lamppost and just deflated? He's gonna do that like 45 seconds in, and he's just gonna go like, was I talking to someone? Were you talking to me? And eventually he's gonna be like, yeah, there's this woman I fuck on the side, and like she's it's crazy.
Cheyenne something.
Sad Cheyenne.
How'd you meet Cheyenne?
I was online, came up.
Okay.
Okay.
When you were online, do you do that at home, or do you?
I do it at home.
You do it at home?
Yes.
Is that generally the only place you do it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What do you have your own personal computer or laptop?
Yes.
Both.
Is it-
Both.
Oh, do you have both?
Sir, please.
Slurp piece.
Okay, 2 laptops.
Once for his work.
Yeah.
It's my business.
Okay, it's your business.
Business and
It's my
pleasure.
business. I work on web pages for the University of Cincinnati.
What
That's what it is,
type of
Cincinnati.
business?
I do web pages for University of Cincinnati. I have access to
He works for WKRP in Cincinnati. We're doing their web pages.
those I need to have access to them in order to do the business with them.
I need those to do my business.
Chat is part of what I do.
Yeah.
And you usually use all those computers to chat to people, or chat, or
Do you use all those people to chat with people or chat? Like, I fucking... Here's the thing. As much shit as I give Catherine Reed and Mike What's His Nuts here, once you get over like the annoying pitch of his voice and the fact that he just like repeats nonsense, he's just there as like a verbal pillow to just sort of softly cushion Jim in between like actual questions.
This detective is terrible.
He is terrible, and I'm telling you, he's just gonna be like, because he'll get into that later. He'll say, a bunch of the same word in a sentence, like you chat with people or chat, and we go, what the?
or do you just use one specific, or?
Barely gives it to his wife.
Usually at home.
Okay, usually at home.
Usually.
All right. And
If I do chat,
If
which
you
I
do-
don't do. But that
Again,
because the fact of the business that I'm in,
Mhm.
chat is a part of what I do, and chat is a part of University of Cincinnati.
Chat's a part of who he is. Chat is a part of Jim Rauch. You couldn't spell Jim Rauch without chat, I'm sure. Don't double check that.
Distance learning.
Certain FFOP beat the
And
hammer.
I need to be able to
He was going to meet a
access
13-year-old, but dressed like he was going to see Phantom of the Opera.
I know, right? He threw on his, like, I don't know if that's long sleeve or not. I would bet my bottom dollar it's not. But then he throws on the leather jacket. Like, here's the thing. His mustache is groomed within an inch of its life, which I can kind of respect because I just let mine run wild and free because I don't have the time to, like, cut each individual hair. Like, he must have a lip bowl or something to give himself, like, a mustache bowl cut. Anyway.
in order to be able to do the business.
And that's the thing about Jim. Everybody's going to talk about the scar. I would kill for a scar like that. Like here, across the mouth, whatever, Ichi the Killer or whatever. Any of those cool face scars, I would take. That's just the way it is.
Business I do
okay.
with them.
Okay.
I do business.
So you met Cheyenne.
I didn't meet Cheyenne.
I didn't met her.
She met
came after
me.
Okay, she came after you. Tell me about that.
I don't know.
You wouldn't take a scar, Maxwell? Seriously. Were you not... Am I the only one who grew up in, like, a world of villains who were, like, super cool looking, covered in scars? Come on.
I don't exactly. how
My
that
scars
happened,
are not in the best places.
No,
so
you
it's
want them
not-
on your face, and ladies don't want scars.
No.
I mean, if you want to have a scar on a lady, it's got to be somewhere that's not going to ruin all the aesthetic parts. Dudes, you can throw a scar on them anywhere, and that's totally fine.
I have no
dick
recollection
puffer?
at all what happened for her to make contact
I wouldn't even call that a buffer. It's barely a duster.
with me. I don't know. Was I
Yeah,
on
get
some
a
line
scar,
of
Maxwell.
some
Like,
sort?
I got tattoos. Get a scar. Quit
Yeah.
pussying out. Get yourself a box cutter and just right over one of your eyes.
Dude,
I mean,
you won't.
Not deep enough to make it milky, but something like that. I almost got my eyebrow pierced in the mall because there's a piercing place, and I thought, oh whoa,
I'm surprised you didn't, because I was rooting for it.
right. And I was like, but then I was like, because we had the kid with us, and I was like, there's no way he's gonna sit still long enough
No.
for me to get some sort of body modification.
I have no idea.
So I just had him pierce one of my balls. It was faster.
Just one.
Yeah.
That would probably hurt
So
like a lot.
You were chatting.
Hey, get a box
and
cutter.
She came on to you
Yeah.
while you were chatting sometime.
Well, somebody did, whatever, who that Cheyenne is.
It's a great aesthetic.
He
though, Rod.
he
You have
does.
to
He
admit.
looks like
Do you know how?
the fun grandpa.
He looks like
you don't know him.
MacGyver's dad, Richard Dean Harrison's dad.
old Cheyenne was?
She told me she was 13, but
Hey, Ryan.
I was very, very, very.
Ghostbusters
Ryan?
HQ.
You don't do that.
I
AKA
don't
the
want to
theater. Just one ball, sir.
I mean, I'm not there.
I don't have time for
Okay.
two. We got a
Or
5-year-old.
maybe there might be a word for this, but let's say you get your sack pierced between the balls because you don't want to mess with the cord, right? And I obviously
Yeah, no.
you wouldn't want to pierce your ball because that would be a problem. But like right there in the center, there's got to be a name.
I mean,
for
yeah,
that sort
there
of
has to
piercing.
be, because we all know Prince Albert.
Someone ruined your Google searches forever by looking that up for me.
I'll do it.
I'm just
I'd be
kidding. I don't
happy
actually
to
need to know.
give me a
Well, I do
18,
now.
19-year-old and I'll be happy.
Maybe an 18-year-old.
13-year-olds, I'm.
Not,
God, it's gross.
it's gross.
Not your thing.
No, not at all.
And when you were talking to Cheyenne on the chat line,
Chatterbait, chatting it up on the chat line.
what'd you guys talk about?
What'd you chat about?
Well, and up until this afternoon, which
Nothing.
was.
If there's a picture, don't show me.
There's no
Is there a
pictures.
name?
There's a couple. There's a
Hey.
transscrotal piercing.
That's not a fun name.
Is-
Like a Prince Albert. I want the nickname. Sorry.
Hafada piercing. Hafada. Hafada.
Hafada nuts. Hafada sack.
You can get it.
Like from under cheese.
You can do it from front to back or side to side.
See, I would not go side to side. That seems too dangerous to me. I would
It
go
says it's
front
a
to
very
back.
high risk.
Yeah, no
piercing.
shit. Like there's a lot of stuff in that sack. Like, nature didn't put them in their own sack outside of your body for a reason. Those things are fucking. I mean, they're important.
I don't know what
Pocket pool
I
champ.
gave in for,
Jim
but I
Rauch.
thought
Yeah!
she was more like an adult.
Just like BJ Blazkowicz at the end of Wolfenstein 3D.
No, I was very, very cautious not to be there. I didn't want to be there.
That's why I called after getting like blasted on vodka tonics and trying to get to Pompilios for those sweet garlic nuts.
Oh yeah.
I really don't.
I really don't. I don't.
I don't like it. I don't want it. Don't want it.
I'm just 18-year-old. Give me an 18-year-old.
But you might have had a little curiosity.
I'm 57 years old.
No, I don't even.
Which is
I'm
normal.
not even curious.
What?
My buddy got a piercing down there. It got infected, and the doctor said he couldn't take it for weeks. Apparently, it hurt like hell to walk. I can't imagine. I mean,
Right, and that's the risk you run. You have to be like on, like nose, like facial piercings, like ears and everything up there. Those are hard to keep clean for some people. Like your balls, depending on where you live, obviously, are going to be just a factory of moisture. Like hardly ever do my balls get wet out here because it's the Valley of the Sun. It's a very dry heat, and I don't have much. Swamp ass doesn't affect me. Also, I'm not very fat. 18, 19-year-old.
month-year-old.
Curiosity. I don't have any curiosity about
Couldn't
it.
take it out for weeks. Oh my god.
It's too young.
Ryan says, fun fact, the restaurant Jim mentions, Papilio's, is where they filmed the restaurant scene in Rain Man, where Raymond counts the toothpicks.
Whoa. I want to, like, Pompilios is a great name for an Italian restaurant. I think any Italian place that starts with a P, I'm down to the tune of $1 million or R.
And now you
That's
can go
not
back and
humid
look at all
like
the records
Miami.
of the conversations I've had.
It is dry.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
That's why I love it out here. It's dry as hell.
Except for monsoon season.
I don't. That's not what I want to be.
Ryan is cool.
Cool.
I don't even like. I don't even.
like girls.
I don't like that.
That's not me.
That's not me.
No, not at all.
Do you have any type of webcam or anything like that?
I do have a webcam.
Okay.
I do. Show people my balls before.
Okay, so you can see how he's like already sort of loosened up. His eyes are closing. The anger or whatever that I don't even think it was anger, like the mild annoyance has left his face. And we've gone from like, I would never do that. I do it a webcam, and let's see how slippery this slope is, people. If you haven't seen this before, you're in for a treat.
Yeah, but
Do you
this
ever use it?
some faces that he makes here kind of remind me of Nancy Brophy. Like the way
We're breaking
he acts.
for the thing. Come on, man.
For any purposes? Or?
It's available.
Wait for it.
Use it. I don't know what that means.
Okay.
What does that even mean? Right?
So we didn't get into what you guys talked about.
Oh my God! Please tell me. Okay, I apologize because I believed, and this could be further along because we do a lot of loops. He points it at his junk, and she, like Catherine Reed says, genitalia, and he just, I could have sworn it happened right here.
What you guys talk about?
I was very, very up until today, which is obviously the reason the results have come. But I have been very, very cautious of not talking about anything. I do.
If you go back and listen to the chat log reading that Salmon and I did, you'll know that immediately he asked if she was down to fuck around.
Mm-hmm.
So
There's that.
There's that.
With a 13-year-old.
And he said some raunchy stuff.
Well, and this is one of the only interrogation, footages that they don't make any reference of the chat. Like John Dudinsky pulls the chat out for Dustin. Like they read, some of Lauren's shit. And Jim's was right from the jump. Like everything he says is basically, like a roadmap of wrong. Everything he is saying during this interrogation is 100% wrong. And is exactly the timeline of the chat with the decoy. And they don't pull out the chat once.
It's
When he says up until today, nothing. When from the word go, he's like, are you ready to get on this D 13-year-old?
You ever sucked dick in Pompilios?
Yeah, like that was his like ASL down to SD at Pompilios.
Chatterbait Billy says Jim was just trying to show her what a man looks like, just in case it came up on your English test.
Right, yeah, it's more of an education type thing.
Yeah.
For her. Yeah, Melissa, you know who Jim Rauch is. Everybody does.
Relaxed and.
Vodka
So who
tonics.
do you think you were talking to?
Another person.
Good one.
Really, perfect. And that's honest with you, for whatever word value that is.
Okay, so I also, this escapes my mind too, because I've seen it so many times I just sort of take it for granted. Like, Jim is drunk right now. Like, Jim
Right.
got drunk, was driving drunk, and got picked up. He's still under the intoxication of the vodka tonic.
I was literally going to ask you, wasn't he drinking?
I don't know what his BAC or BA whatever blood alcohol level is, but he was definitely like way fucked up on the phone, and it's been a little bit of time from the phone to the drive to here, so he sobered up a little bit, but still not. What's the connection?
I blame you guys.
When two souls come together in a Yahoo chat room, you can't keep them apart.
Right.
I don't. I cannot condone the statements that I would have made this afternoon.
I would have made this afternoon.
I wish I could retract them.
Yeah.
Not because of you guys.
Yeah.
Not because
But
of that.
because of the
Retracted.
fact that I just don't.
I fault you guys for that. I love that part.
I don't see it. I don't.
Good.
Jim, I understand. All right.
Do you?
And
I fucking hate him.
I understand.
I understand. You've made a mistake.
Yeah, feelings. Feelings are feelings.
His
I've
player's
read-
jacket's dope.
I'm saying, man, that's the thing about Jim is like there are so many things to pick apart, like on looks alone. The salt and pepper hair, the fucking cookie duster that's manicured with an inch of his life, the scar, like he's dripping in leather. Those are pretty stylish glass frames for like this old dude. Like he's rocking that middle ground of like someone who's like embarrassing to be around and like someone who you wouldn't mind being around.
Do you think he has, like, under his red shirt, like a thin gold chain around his neck?
Maybe he might have like a little cross or
Yeah.
a crucifix or something. It's hard to tell, but yeah, he does. His skin does seem to fade into the. I mean, he's a little more red, but
Yeah.
it's a nice tobacco. Like when you go from his shirt to his head to the wall, it's a nice tobacco sunburst. Maybe down into the jacket front.